Oi, oi, all right, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review coming through with a new album to give a spin, chat some fraff about, and then assign an arbitrary score to. Today, we're looking at the new record from alternative hip hop rapper, producer Jpegmafia. I lay down my life for you. Barrington Devon Hendrix, aka Jpegmafia, in addition to having just the best artist name probably ever, is also one of the most exciting artists of our times. Hendrix was born in Flatbush, Brooklyn, spending his childhood in the area before moving to Alabama and then later Louisiana, where he would enlist in the US Air Force at the age of 18. He would take tours of duty in Iraq and stationed in multiple nations across the world before being dishonorably discharged after reportedly flagging abuses of superior officers. He began writing and producing music during his time in the military, initially releasing mixtapes and albums under the name Devon Hendrix. Returning to the US, he took on the moniker of Jpegmafia and in 2016 released the first record, Black Ben Carson. In the 8 years since, we've had another 4 LPs, including this new one, and 2 collaborative records, one of which was last year's brilliant Scaring the Hose with Danny Brown. When I think of Peggy, a quote comes to mind. It's from Julian Casablancas. He'd probably hate that, but he talked about in this interview with Vulture from some time ago. He was basically talking about music in the post-internet world and how he felt that it was kind of disappointing that the availability of all music at all times, with the ability to create music really easily, should have led to this world where we have music like we'd never heard before, and it hasn't. And I kind of agreed until I heard JPEG Mavia. On the instrumental side, Peggy pulls together cutting edge electronica with aggressive dissonant noise, sweet pop melodies, and sample chops with an innate reference for Golden Age boom bap. On top of this, the artist can spit the most vitriolic bars that dismantle our late stage capitalist society, while also playfully dropping lines that bring in cultural reference points from manga to music to wrestling. While it takes inspiration from several points in music history, JPEG Mafia's sound couldn't exist in any other time and stands apart as some of the most influential music of our current world. Following Peggy's work has also opened my eyes to lots of other artists that break norms, and I actually now completely disagree with that statement from Casablancas. It's not that no one is creating cutting edge music, it's just musical output in general has increased infinitely, and so finding the unique, innovative breakthrough stuff is harder than ever, but it definitely does exist. This album's title, I Lay Down My Life for You, taken as a statement in and of itself, is striking. It's a declaration. It's like, come what may, I'm giving it all, I'm putting it all out there. It's a statement that can only be genuinely said by someone with conviction, someone that's fearless. It struck me when I was considering this review that the fearlessness demonstrated right from the outset in the title of this record really speaks to an overall philosophy that governs Hendrix's approach to the entire JPEG Mafia project. And considering the circumstances of his departure from the Air Force as well, it likely extends to kind of the artist's personal life as well. This absolute conviction, this lack of fear manifests itself in so many different ways across the JPEG catalog, just in the beats he creates. It takes a certain type of self-assuredness to position yourself as the confrontational, serious, sometimes aggressive rap artist, while also including a totally serious pseudo Britney Spears cover on your record, as Peggy did on the last release LP. Specifically on this record, you have Peggy naming tracks after highly revered iconic albums like DMX's It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Death Grips, ex-military. As an artist, you're almost setting a huge bar for yourself by doing that and inviting skeptical criticism. He'll even straight up sample an iconic beat and use it just for his own like it's nothing, i.e. using Wu-Tang's Tears from 36 Chambers, a main part of the beat for the track Ex-Military. He's also happy to take this both ways, naming another track Vulgar Display of Power, the title of metal band Pantera's most well-known album. Peggy may well appreciate the music of the band, but the catch here is that that band were dogged and still somewhat are dogged by like accusations of racism, something Peggy's called out in rock bands a bunch of times before. So naming a track after a Pantera album here feels less like an homage and more like a dog whistle, either inviting people to criticize him for using the title, assuming that he doesn't know, or trying to lure supporters of that artist and challenge them. That same track is one among many where the artist is loudly defiant, chants of "I will not fall" ring throughout the chorus, which thematically ties up a lot of the lyrical undercurrents here. He addresses haters, takes shots at Drake, Freddie Gibbs, and all while sampling Tupac's iconic diss track Hit 'Em Up. This is a record that just emanates integrity, and it's hard not to respect it regardless of your thoughts on the music. It just so happens I also love the music. Like I said earlier, these are innovative, cutting edge sounds that could only exist in this time, and as a music fan, I've been guilty of looking back with misty eyes, thinking the peak of, artistry in this medium might be long behind us. It's just so exciting to be proven wrong. It's easy to fall in love with the heavy beats on this one, particularly if, like me, you spend a lot of time in kind of like guitar based genres. The record opens with "I scream this in the mirror before I interact with anyone." The stark use of the ride cymbals initially read like it would kind of go in a jazz rap direction, but instead we get this unhinged guitar with sandpaper chords and needle riffs that dissolve into a catchy bass part. The cuts back and forth from guitar to like empty reverb ride cymbals remind me a lot of Refused's "Shape of Punk to Come." A similar approach is used on Vulgar Display of Power, this time really leading with an abrasive paint-stripping lead guitar before pounding drums, rhythm guitar, and turntable scratches give the song its kind of mosh pit credentials. Don't Rely on Other Men creates thrills at the same level, but with an almost trance-like deep house club beat and an iconic sample of Brian Cox as Logan Roy in Succession. I love on this track how the beat has these moments of being gated, leaving no sound between each deep thump to create a vacuum that almost sucks your eardrums out of your skull. Few albums can sustain excitement and intrigue with only vitriol and viciousness, but it's also really hard to manage the swing from heavy to slow and soft. Yet Peggy manages it beautifully on this record, and the mellow tracks here are actually some of my favorites in the set. Either On or Off the Drugs is based around such an amazing sample melody, which is actually stunning where it moves, particularly in the "I'm looking for her" part. The madness of this is that sample used as a track called Turn on the Lights by Eddie Bluesman Turner, except it isn't. The song is a track uploaded to a YouTube channel called AI for the Culture, which used some future lyrics as the basis to generate this kind of bluesy Quiet Storm track. Once again, Jpegmafia is at the forefront of music. I don't even know how he found this, considering it was uploaded as recently as May, and is completely, he's completely fearless in putting it on the record. Do I have a problem with AI generated music? Yeah, at least I thought I did. This track, though, is glorious, and I could listen to that melody over and over and over again. So now I'm just questioning things and confused. So once again, Peggy's like provoking more thought here. Before I close this out, I also want to shout out the features we've got on this record, particularly Vince Staples on New Black History, adding a killer verse to a year that includes one of his best albums so far and possibly one of the best of the year. We also get a fiery verse from Denzel Curry on JPEG Ultra. Overall, I think this record is thrilling to listen to start to finish, and I find Devon Hendrick's fearlessness in all aspects intensely inspirational. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10 and knock it on the head. That's just what I think. What are you lot saying? Let me know in the comments. Check out reviews that are related to this in the description. And if you can be asked to do all that, you may as well subscribe. Stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just hold some abuse in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take it easy. Cheers, mate. My name you go. Bye.